taking charge as Revenue Minister, I had made my vision clear to all, that my first and foremost priority would be to expedite the process of disposal of all the pending Munkar and tendency cases in a time-bound manner. In order to ensure this, I had immediately called a meeting of both the collectors, additional collectors, and mamladars to understand the reason for the delay in disposal of these cases. I have clearly directed that all the Munkar cases should be invariably be tried to be disposed of within a period of 6 months to 1 year, and no unwarranted adjournments, long dates should be given. To accomplish this, I have directed both the collectors to ensure that specific mamladars be designated who will hear only court cases and that the matter will be fast-tracked without giving any adjournments. At the same time, I have also assured all the revenue officers that all the requirement of infrastructure and manpower will be provided to strengthen them and to enhance their capacity for quick disposal to give results. I have also directed that the required trainings and refresher courses would be imparted to the revenue officer as and when required to keep them abreast of the relevant Act, rules, laws, and all the amendments carried out from time to time. Speaker, sir, most of the services currently provided by the Revenue Department are in online mode. I have a vision to make all the revenue offices completely citizen-friendly and responsive to the needs of the poor and the common man. I have asked the Secretary Revenue to re-examine all the processes involved in providing various services to the citizens and to get the same revised and simplified to achieve the goals of ease of doing business, so as to provide a citizen-friendly administration in the shortest possible time. The required infrastructure would be upgraded wherever required, and also construction of a new administrative building would be undertaken, such as the setting up of a new collectorate building for North Goa at Mirses. Its layout will be approved during this financial year. Similarly, new administrative buildings for Marmagua Taluka will also be explored on priority. Further, the renovation of the building office of the Deputy Collector and Mamladar's Ponda will be taken up. The online process for grant of conversion sanads has already started, and we will ensure that the issue of conversion sanad within the shortest possible time, although the stipulated period of it is 60 days. Further, the fast tracking of mutation cases through Dharani rural software with modules for Mamladars and sub-register would be undertaken. The Revenue Department is also exploring the possibility of issuance of electronic tablets to talatis for fast disposal of various certificates. Efforts will also be made that all partition cases before deputy collectors would be decided within 6 months. The department is also planning to create a land bank repository taluka-wise. Speaker, sir, yesterday my colleague had acknowledged the work done by the Fire and Emergency Service. In the last few days, when there have been waterlogging, falling of trees, landslides, which is indeed an integral part of the disaster management machinery of the state and the districts. The disaster management machinery collectively have been doing a good job, but at the same time there are few inherent shortcomings in the terms of availability of manpower and equipment. Strengthening of the district disaster management authorities will be done by providing necessary monetary support towards infrastructure, equipment to all the enforcement relevant disaster management agencies of the DDMAs and the line departments such as fire and emergency services, police, local bodies, etc., to mitigate any disaster. In order to have a quick and swift response, 350 APDA Mitras and APDA Shakis have already been enrolled and are being adequately trained with requisite emergency responder kits. Speaker, sir, I have taken note of the concern raised by my colleagues regarding trimming of dangerous trees. We shall explore the possibilities of placing funds at the disposal of local bodies and collectors for such activities and other mitigation measures for any imminent hazard or disaster. We have also taken note of the point regarding upgradation of the state as well as district disaster management plan. The district disaster management plan and communication plan have already been updated and uploaded on the website of the State Disaster Management Authority. The State Disaster Management Plan will also be updated once the incident response system is finalized. Speaker, sir, every effort will be made to grant sanad in all forest right cases and also the grant of evacui property sanad of Maye Bicholin Taluka will be completed in a time-bound manner. All efforts will be made to fill up all the vacant posts of revenue officers. Further vacancies of all the clerical staff will also be filled up on priority. In order to fasten the process of mutation and partition, powers have been delegated to the sub-register and ISLRs respectively. The Land Records section of the Revenue Department has set out a vision for not only restricting itself to the survey plans with features of land matters, but all such objects and issues associated with the said land through various GIS layers, superimposed one above the other. This will enable the general public and prospective buyers to know and ascertain the nature of the property before embarking on proceeding with any land transaction. For the purpose of achieving this vision, DSLR would give an API link to various departments, including the banks and judiciary, to upload data of any charge, encumbrances, or lien over any property. Speaker, sir, having said that, I will now respond to all the cut motions moved by my colleagues one by one. Firstly, I will come to demand number 7 pertaining to DSLR. Failure to strengthen the Director of Settlement and Land Records. The charge made against the office is refuted on account of the fact that in the recent past, we have recruited 72 additional field surveyors to ensure that the service to be provided to the general public are put on fast-track mode. As of now, after the transfer of the cases of partition, demarcation, and resurvey, the department has, from the date of transfer of powers, disposed the 3,040 cases of partition, 157 cases of demarcation, and 25 cases of resurvey. Earlier, people had to approach the officer of the Inspector of Survey and Land Records for issuance of survey plans, which is now not required, as all of the survey plans, be it of the city survey or that of the revenue villages, are available online. These plans are also viewable by the general public by visiting the DSLR website. Apart from these, the general public are also made to know if any changes are likely to occur in and on their land, as all notices pertaining to mutation and partition are viewable on DSLR website. Besides this, if any owner of the land registers on the Goan online portal, and if he requires and he gives the mobile number and his email, then a trigger mechanism enables her to send a message or an email notifying such owner or co-occupant, as the case may be, about the probable change to be made in the record of rights, thus enabling this mechanism to prevent frauds resulting into litigation pertaining to revenue cases. The voluntary disclosure of Aadhaar number linking them to record of rights is also under active consideration, and very soon the facility is expected to be rolled out. Failure to preserve old record property. Speaker, sir, I have to inform the House that by spending an amount of 1.43 crores provided by the central government, we are nearing completion of the modern record room, which will enable to preserve legacy records to posterity. Similarly, MRRs are also proposed to be established in all the sub-offices in all the different talukas. All of the legacy records have been duly preserved. Apart from that, the cadastral plan, registrar de administrador, comunidad, plantas, alvara titles, plans, field books, auto demarcação, numerical index, alphabetical index, forest mata plans, etc., have also been duly scanned. Thus, the change of old records being not preserved is not correct. From 1/3/22 to 36/22, the DSLR has supplied the following types of documents. Old cadastral plans issued in the month of March 382, April 329, May 496, June 331. So total of 1,538. Old register issued 298 in March, 268 in April, 433 in May, 272 in June. Total 1,272. Field books issued 39 in March, 44 in April, May 25, and in June 8, 116. Total demarcation issued 222 in March, 25 in March, 222 in April, 362 in May, 184 in June, total 993. Old index issued in March 325, in April 291, May 450, June 228, total 1,294. Comunidad plantas issued in March it is 15, in April 94, in May 44, and June 35, total 188. Title Alvarez issued March 15, April 12, May 5, June 9, total 41. Speaker, sir, I would also like to inform this August House that we are in the process of developing a software which will propose the empaneled agency of IT department named 9-Star has been appointed for developing the search engine to track any specific record from the metadata, which is already scanned. The fine-tuning of this software is under process, and no sooner it is tested, all these legacy records would also be hoisted in public domain so that there is easy accessibility to the records. Demand for supplementary grants on the sum of not exceeding rupees 30 lakhs in respect of capital outlay on public works, tabled by our colleague Mr. Vijay Sardesai. It is endeavor of the Office of the Director of Settlement and Land Records to reach out to the last mile. Thus, every individual from us is important who should be in position to obtain fast and quick service without having to travel long distances. It is in this trust that the inhabitant of Sangen Taluka who have to travel long distances was sought to be curtailed by establishing a separate and independent office in Taluka of Sangen. We have embarked on the journey of establishing Office of the Inspector of Survey and Land Records in Sangen Taluka in the unused government quarters located at Selauling Irrigation Project Colony at Paji Mall, Sangen. For this purpose, the PWD has prepared estimate to the tune of 30.30 lakhs, and hence additional money was sought through supplementary grants. Therefore, wisdom dawned upon us of not to start the Office of Inspector of Survey and Land Records for Sangen Taluka at the identified place, at Selauling Irrigation Project Colony, Paji Mall, because the public would have been put to more hardship on account of poor transport facilities, because from Sangen bus stand to Selauling Irrigation Project Colony, Paji Mall, is about more than 3 kilometers. Our tries to establish Office of Inspector of Survey and Land Records for Sangen Taluka has still not lost sight, as we are still looking out for the best alternative place, preferably within the town of Sangen. Demand under head 4050 capital outlay public work. Major works. Speaker, sir, I am sure all of you in this house will agree with me that land is a precious source, and for this purpose, the records pertaining to land, be it of private entity or otherwise has to be properly catalogued and preserved for posterity. For this purpose, the survey plans and record of rights have been duly preserved by the Directorate of Settlement and Land Records, and very shortly the same will be made available to the general public through web services. Having rolled out survey plans on the Bunaksha platform, 12,393 plans have already been issued electronically. This has helped stop public interface and the time and money of the general public flocking to the offices to obtain plans and records of right. Thus, the need to maintain the offices is the need of the hour. If we neglect our offices, then the possibilities of the various land records getting mutilated and destroyed due to vagaries of nature cannot be ruled out. Failure to appoint officers to resolve pending revenue land-related cases, the cut motion, dispute on mission mode. Presently, there are 15 posts of Mamladars vacant and 5 posts of deputy collectors. The vacancies of these revenue officers will be filled up shortly by personnel department. However, regular courts are being taken up by giving additional charges to expedite the cases. Directions are also issued to the officers to fast-track the cases by giving shorter dates. Specific revenue officers will be given task of disposing the court cases and the land-related cases or dispute in order to complete it on mission mode. Monthly disposal of cases are directed to be monitored, tracked through review meetings. Efforts will be made to fill all the vacancy of staff in the revenue department at the earliest. Failure to curb illegal encroachment, conversion, construction, business action. District administration has directed all the revenue missionaries to be vigilant enough to curb the illegal encroachment, conversion, construction by issuing various memorandum circulars from time to time. The deputy collector, Mamladars, through their talatis, conduct inspections and whenever illegalities are noticed, actions are indeed initiated by filing checklists through these talatis. If any illegalities are seen, noticed in the checklist, then action is initiated as per Section 33 and 40 of Goa Land Revenue Code and Section 4 and 6 of Goa Land Provision of Construction Act, as the case may be. Immediate stop work order are issued. Further hearings are taken up in the matter for necessary action, and orders are passed to remove the encroachment or to demolish the illegal structure. Administrator of Comunidad is also empowered to take action as per Article 371 read with Article 372 of Code of Comunidad and under Goa Land Prohibition of Construction Act. Also, necessary directions are issued to the deputy collectors to take action under Section 33 of Goa Land Revenue Code in respect of illegal conversion to convert the property back to its original position. Failure to dispose munkar and tenancy cases in a time-bound manner to give relief to the poor. The munkar and tenancy cases are disposed of under the Goa Munkar Protection Eviction Act 1975 and Agriculture Tenancy Act 1964 respectively. Pendency depends upon the facts and stages of each case. Serving of notice for appearance of all the parties concerned. If unserved, parties need to be served through substitute service. During the proceedings, if that occurs, legal heirs need to be brought on record. Preliminary objections raised to be decided and need to give the parties adequate opportunities to make their submissions. Interim applications such as production of additional documents, repairs of munkar houses, bringing legal heirs on record has to be decided before passing orders. The chief of the witness and cross-examination of the witness of both the parties need to be conducted and examined. Most of the cases are highly contested and adequate opportunities have to be given to both parties as per law. The revision and appeals are preferred against the interim order, final order before the appellant authority. For example, Deputy Collector and SDO and Hon'ble Administrative Tribunal of Goa at Panjim. I must tell them, the new members are there, so let them know. No, I've got to read the other this thing of other departments as well. Sorry? Further, the mamlaras, being the ARO and the AROs and presiding officers, are often busy with time-bound election work, census, law and order, summary revision, continuous updation of electoral rolls, NDPS cases. On account of prevailing COVID-19 pandemic, since the last 2 years, cases were prolonged due to restriction imposed on normal court hearing. Nevertheless, in order to dispose of the pendency of the Munkar and tenancy cases, all efforts are directed to make the revenue officers to dispose of the Munkar and tenancy cases in a time-bound manner. The collectors are directed to hold regular review meetings of all types of revenue land-related cases, and monthly targets have been allotted to all concerned for disposal of the same. Collectors have indeed issued direction to the revenue officers to dispose all the cases which are reserved for judgment. Orders and interim orders within a period of 30 days on merits. Also, online reporting is devised, and accordingly, the status of Munkar and tenancy cases are tracked in a real-time time mode. Besides, Secretary Revenue has also issued directions to all the revenue officers to expedite the disposal of these cases under the respective jurisdiction and is personally monitoring its progress. The cut motion number 33, tabled by Shri Viresh Borkar, failure to protect Kazan land. Speaker, sir, all efforts are indeed being made by the revenue authorities to check and protect Kazan lands, and action has been initiated under Section 33 of Land Revenue Code 1968. Recent amendments have been made to Section 33, published on Official Gazette 18/9 to 2019. Revenue Department has already issued directions to check on illegal land filling, seeking reports through talatis. Under Section 33 of Goa LRC 1968, Amendment on 18/9/2018, any person involved in illegal land filling in Kazan land, low-lying areas, etc., the district administration shall restore the land back to its original position. On receipt of report from TCP Environment Department, GCZMA, without issuing a notice, the cost is recoverable from the concerned and areas of the land revenue. If there are any such, I request you, if there are any such cases which comes to your notice, you can just get it to my notice. Cut motion on the disaster management. Speaker, sir, Sendai Framework is a major global agreement for disaster risk reduction 2015 to 2030. In which 187 countries are signatories, including India. The framework has been implemented in all the states, union territories of the country, including Goa state as well. Under the scheme, the government of Goa has appointed one senior consultant and one DO for strengthening of DMA, and their cost is fully borne by funds received through Ministry of Home Affairs. MHA has released the fund for the first installment of rupees 19.64 lakhs for the state of Goa for the implementation of the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction. In 2021-22, Revenue Department was in a position to implement the Sendai Framework as per the norms. Accordingly, this department has made a provision through supplementary budget of rupees 38 lakhs, which includes the second installment of Sendai Framework. The work profile of the senior consultant include technical assistant in preparing of the Hazard Risk Vulnerability Atlas, HRVA for the state, alignment of state plan and district plan in accordance with the SFDR, felicitating state, union and territory government department in preparation of departmental disaster management plan, coordinating mock drills, compiling reports and data during disaster, help in organization of joint workshop with states, compiling and timely furnishing the data and information to NDMA on disaster aspects, implementation NDMA schemes and Sendai framework monitoring indicators, enhancing disaster preparedness in response, recovery, rehabilitation, and reconstruction, setting up of disaster database at the state and district level, collection of report about lesson learned and best practices from the state and exchange sharing of these among the states and NDMA, identifying opportunities for mainstreaming DRR in development program, task assigned by SDMA. Incident Response System, IRS, is an effective mechanism to designate officers to perform various duties and get them trained in their respective roles. It also emphasizes the need of proper documentation of various activities for better planning, accountability, and analysis. After due deliberation, the final draft of notification has already been completed, including the observation by National Disaster Management Authority. Government is in the process of notifying the IRS at the state and district level. The IRS notification shall be followed by formal formation of Incident Response Team, IRTs. IRS trainings with special reference to hospitals and doctors is scheduled on 14th to 18th November 2022. Shall be organized by Revenue Department in collaboration with Goa Institute of Public Administration and Rural Development. In view of the progress in the implementation, necessary budget provision has been made. Conduct of mock exercise. The mock exercises on chemical disaster has been carried out by the North Goa District Disaster Management Authority on 30th 10/21 at Deccan Fine Chemicals Private Limited, Santa Monica Works, Kolim, Goa. In the financial year 2021, all the line departments participated in the said mock exercises. After completion of the mock exercise, the briefing took place at Village Panchayat Community Hall, Kolim, and discussed the good practices and shortcomings were highlighted for future improvements. Further, the Disaster Management Response Force had directed to conduct the familiarization exercise program and community awareness preparedness program from 1/10/21 to 15/10/2021 in all five talukas, and the same was compiled with. During the course of program, the National Disaster Response Force team had interacted with local authorities, district administration, local police officials, members of panchayat, institutes, and other stakeholders with live demonstration, audio-visual program, and other field-related activities. Activities such as flood, drowning, etc. we conducted during the familiarization exercise. South. An anti-hijacking mock exercise was conducted on 5/10/2021 at INS Hansa Dabolim, Marmagua. A familiarization exercise program was conducted in all the talukas of South Goa district in association with NDRF, Pune, from 18/10/21 to 26/10/21. A mock exercise was conducted by the District Disaster Management Authority, South Goa, in association with NDRF team, Pune, on medical first respondent, MFR, flood, water rescue, collapse structure search and rescue, and chemical, biological, radioactive, nuclear disaster at 9:30 at Conference Hall at MPT Guest House, Headland Sada, Vasco da Gama on 27/10/2021. A mock exercise on demonstration of shoreline cleanup at Baina Beach, Vasco da Gama was held on 24/22. A cyclone mock drill was conducted at Banawali Beach on 7/5/22 and at Kolwa on 26/5/22. Strengthening of District Disaster Management Authority. Under demand 15 and 16, The provision has been made to set up 24/7 control rooms in the office of concerned Mamladars of Taluka level during monsoon period, and also a control room in the office of the respective collectorate for the assistance to the affected people and also quick response to any disaster. Further provisions have also been done in anticipation of the third wave of COVID-19 pandemic. Digitization of control room and procurement of disaster relief materials for district and all talukas. Support of demolition squad. The demolition squad will be strengthened and required demolition will be carried out as per the direction issued by various courts in a time-bound manner. Fund is required to be placed at the disposal of the executing agencies like the PWD, police, etc. All efforts will be made to recover the cost of the demolition from the defaulters as areas of land revenue. Gratuition relief for affected victims. In view of the calamities such as floods, cyclone, COVID-19, etc., citizens of Goa have suffered heavy losses. Several claims were received towards the destruction caused by the floods. Also, the government had announced additional benefits to the victims as per the nature of damages to the houses. Ex gratia payment for the repair of the houses, including State Disaster Response Fund, fully damaged to be rebuilt. The fully damaged to be rebuilt is 2 lakhs rupees from earlier 25,000 rupees, and Kacha house for fully damaged is 1 lakh from earlier 15,000. Where major repairs are concerned. Partially damaged to be repaired is 50,000, which was earlier 6,000, and Kacha house is 20,000, which was earlier 4,000. In case of death due to calamities, ex gratia assistance of rupees 4 lakhs is paid to the next of kin as per SDRF norms. The collectorate are entrusted with disaster management duties, hence all the bills related to COVID-19 pandemics were received by them for payment. Bills related to COVID care centers and provisions of food and refreshment to the patients admitted in the hospitals and COVID care centers required additional funds provision. Shelter homes were designated, and all amenities include mobile toilets and pandals were provided in the shelter homes along with cooked food. Cooked food was also transported from designated kitchen operated by self-help group to the locations where they were needed. Dry ration was transported from civil supplies godown to taluka offices and further transported to distribution in localities. District establishment, operation of Collector Guest House, Margaon. Government Rest House, Margaon is maintained by Work Division 8, PWD. Margaon from their own funds. Room allotment is done by collector as per request received on first come first served basis, as per tariff fixed by PWD Division 8, Margaon. Speaker sir, I am in the view of all the above. I request, Speaker sir, in view of all the above, I request all my colleagues to withdraw the cut motion in support of these demands. Now I will come to Labour Department. Labour Department is assigned with the duties and functions related to industrial relation, labour welfare and enforcement of labour legislation, besides implementation of labour welfare and social security schemes, to maintain harmonious industrial relation between employer and employee through preventive mediation and provide labour welfare and facilitate employment opportunities, to ensure strict enforcement of labour legislation and balance industrial relation leading to industrial growth and increased productivity, to ensure that the working class from the background community, unorganized sector and agricultural labour are not exploited and benefits provided under the law and regulations are extended to them, to strive for the welfare if the work class by extending statutory and non-statutory benefits through establishment of welfare centers for industrial workers. To ensure proper enforcement of minimum wages rates in scheduled employment, including agriculture, and their timely revision. Under Goa, Daman and Diu Labour Welfare Fund Act 1986, the rules thereunder ensure various provisions of the Act and implement various schemes aimed at promoting the welfare of the working class and their dependents. To ensure prompt disposal of industrial disputes by conciliation, missionary, and prompt disposal of industrial disputes by industrial tribunal cum labor courts. Employees State Insurance Scheme of India is the multi-dimensional social security scheme to provide social security protection to workers employed in the organized sector in conceivable contingencies like sickness, maternity, and death, or disablement due to employment injury, including commuting accident and occupational disease. The medical benefits are administered by the state government and remaining cash benefits by the ESI Corporation. The Goa Labour Welfare Board, constituted under the provisions of Act, implemented various welfare schemes in the phased manner to promote welfare of working class and to ensure that their all-round development. The Goa Building and Other Construction Workers Welfare Board has been undertaking initiatives towards different social schemes for the registered beneficiaries from the age group of 18 to 60 years and their families, like medical assistance, disability pension, financial assistance for education, interim relief to the beneficiaries affected by disaster, etc. The cut motion by Mr. Cruz Silva, failing to check injustice done to the workers on various industries. The Industrial Tribunal cum Labour Court and Labour Court 2, Labour Code 1 and Labour Code 2 are functional under the provision of Industrial Dispute Act. The authority under the Payment of the Wages Act is also functioning. The authority under the Payment of Gratuity Act is functional. The authority under the Employees Corporation Act is functional. Proceedings in all these matters are taken up regularly and disposed. I therefore request the Honourable Member to withdraw the cut motion. The cut motion by Honourable Opposition Leader Mr. Michael Lobo, failure to provide benefits, maternity and other health benefits to industrial workers. The Employees State Insurance Corporation provides various benefits to the insured persons and their dependents. The various benefits provided are as follows: sickness benefits, extended sickness benefit, enhanced sickness benefit, disablement benefits, dependence benefit, maternity benefits, medical benefits, and funeral expenses. The medical benefits under the ESI scheme to the insured person and their dependent family members are provided by the state government, and full medical care through 14 ESI dispensaries and 100-bedded ESI hospital in Margam. The secondary care referral treatment is provided through 2 tier-up private hospitals for Vision Multi-Speciality Hospital at Mapsa and Savoykar Nursing Home, Ponda. The super specialty treatment is provided by the ESI Corporation by having tie-up with an arrangement with private hospitals, and patients requiring the referral are sent by Office of the Administrative Medical Officers and ESI Hospital with a prescribed referral letter to avail cashless treatment facilities. The cash benefits under the ESI schemes to the insured persons are provided by ESI Corporation through its 5 branches and 1 regional office. The entire state of Goa is covered under ESI scheme. To administer the scheme, 7/8 expenditure is borne by ESI Corporation and 1/8 expenditure is incurred by the state government. The ESI scheme employs the following doctors for medical benefits of employees: full-time specialists, part-time specialists, insurance medical practitioner, insurance medical officer, Part-time specialists, there are 4. Insurance medical officers.
माननीय मंत्री,
Speaker, sir, under Rule 16 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business, I move a motion to extend the duration of the sitting of the House by 1 hour.
the motion is that the duration of the sitting of the House be extended by 1 hour. Those in favor may say aye.
Aye.
Those against may say no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The duration of the sitting of the House is extended by 1 hour. Please go ahead.
Speaker, sir. The ESI Hospital Margam has been upgraded to 100-bedded and provided medicines and medical services in surgery, orthopedics, pediatrics, gynecology, ophthalmology, leprosy, skin, VD, ENT, dentistry, homeopathic, and Ayurveda. The facilities of radiology and laboratory investigations are also made available. Patients who cannot be treated in GMC and need super specialty treatment are referred to the approved tie-up hospital in and outside Goa. ESI Hospital Margam was notified and dedicated COVID-19 hospital in the state of Goa and now denotified and has restarted providing service to the insured persons and their dependents. The reliefs given to the IPs during the last 3 years is as follows. Year 2018 to 2019, number of IPs were 22,85,300. The total expenditure was 7 crores 46 lakhs 23,000. So in the year 2019-20, it was 2,09,270. The expenditure was 721 lakhs and 66,000. In 2020-21, it was 2,16,120. The expenditure was 730 lakhs 78,000. The number of insured persons is increasing every year, and the budget provision by the ESI Corporation has been enhanced from rupees 2,150 to 3,000 rupees per insured person per year. The total sanctioned strength of the staff in 501, of which is 300, out of which 355 are on the payroll of the ESI scheme. Failure to provide healthcare facility to industrial labor in North Goa on the line of ESI Hospital in South Goa. Employees, State Insurance Corporation is planning for construction of a 100-bedded ASI model hospital in North Goa district of the state of Goa. The hospital will be constructed and managed by ESI Corporation and not by the state government. The ESI Corporation will bear the total cost of the construction as well as the cost of the purchase of the equipment, appointment of all the staff and their salaries, etc. Regional Office of ESI Corporation have approached the Goa Housing Board for allotment of 5 acres of land for setting up of a 100-bedded ESIC model hospital in North Goa district. Goa Housing Board has informed that a plot of land of approximately 60,000 is available in Mulgaon village under Bicholin Taluka and North Goa district. The site inspection was carried out by the then Hon'ble Minister for Labour and Employment, Government of Goa, Regional Director in charge, Engineers of ESI Corporation, Goa Housing Board on 12/3/2020. And it was found that the proposed site was found feasible and in all likelihood for construction of a 100-bedded ESI model hospital in North Goa. ESI Corporation have requested Goa Housing Board to take up the matter in their board meeting for allotment of the plot. I therefore request the Honourable Member to withdraw the cut motion and cooperate with the administration. Now there is another cut motion on labour by Shri Viresh Borkar. Failure to register interstate migrant labourers. The department has taken initiatives and opened a migration cell in Sharma Shakti Bhavan to facilitate all the migrant labourers to get themselves registered under the eShram portal which was developed by the Government of India to facilitate registration of construction workers, migrant workers, street vendors, domestic workers, agriculture workers, and other unorganized organized workers in the state to create database of these workers. Failure to give support to local laborers working in private sector. In order to support the laborers working in different sectors in the state, routine inspections have been carried out under various labor legislation applicable to that establishment to see that statutory welfare provision applicable to the workers are implemented by the establishment. Failure to give justice to contract laborers. There are two types of contract laborers. One directly by signing contract between the employer and the contract laborer, and secondly, engagement of contract laborer to contractors. As regards the employer who employs contract laborer through contractor is required to obtain registration certificate under the Contract Labor Regulation and Abolition Act 1970 and the rules made thereunder. The contractor who engages these laborers are required to obtain license for engaging these laborers. Regular and surprise inspections are being carried out by inspectors appointed under the Act for strict implementation of provisions of the Act under the provisions of Central Labor Regulation and Abolition Act 1970. There is no provision for observation of these contract laborers by the principal employer. Failure to maintain data of migrant versus local laborers. The department has already initiated action to register the migrant workers under the eShram portal, including the local laborers and other unorganized workers in the state. The department is also in the process of collecting the details of all the employees employed in different industries as well as other establishments in the state of Goa under the Goa Employment Conditions of Service and Retirement Benefits Act 2001, so that the data of workers employed in different industries, including local versus migrant, is available with the department. I therefore request the honourable member to withdraw the cut motion. Okay, there was since Vijay is not there, I'm not going to read this thing. So let me go. Sorry? Okay. Now there's demand number 60 as far as employment exchange is concerned. So I'll go to your question directly. Fine. Okay. So let me go to, I think, Ganesh Gaonkar. For the you had asked me some question. For the purpose of updation of land index, the interest party has to approach the respective mamladars. Kumeri case has been finalized in totality. We have purchased 6 total stations and another 10 stations are likely to be purchased, which will result in fast track of demarcation cases. To add to this, it is my privilege to inform that the House that the forest right claims have been put on fast track and the demarcation survey of all these claims of Ponda talukas are completed. There is another cess fund. Cess fund which is collected for the welfare of contract laborers amount to 314.25 lakhs, 314 crores and 25 lakhs. As on date, in total 14 different schemes are made. We are also exploring the possibility of enhancing the present scheme along with the formation of new schemes which will be more labor friendly. Colleague Advocate Carlos had asked for some amendment to the definition of term tenancy. You had asked something like that? Yeah. The term tenancy and an amendment shall be examined actually by the department. Yuri is not there, so I will not answer his. Rudolph is not there. Okay. Yes, Divya also is not there. As far as Mr. Faldesai is concerned, as regards of recovery of auction amount of sluice gate, you had asked me that gate is concerned, nothing is pending with the Mamlar of this body. Through the Soil Conservation Division of the Water Resources Department, the band on Kazan land in respect of registered tenant association would be strengthened, which will result in stoppage of saline water ingressing into the paddy fields. This will enable agriculturists to cultivate their land. Yes. Okay. Regarding you are waiting for, you are buying any? Okay. Our colleague Mr. Alex Equira had asked me regarding the solid waste management plant. The proposed plant at Verna is an integrated waste treatment plant. Let me give you the features of the plant. The plant will treat waste of Marmugao Taluka and parts of Salsett Taluka. The plant will have an effluent treatment plant to treat the leaches, and same will be treated. The facility will be the state-of-art plant and recycling, sorting, biomethanation, composting with generation of electricity. The landfill for the plant is for processed residual inert. The landfill is scientifically engineered with non-permeable geosysteric layer. Therefore, there will be no pollution. Yeah.
Whatever you're reading, basically you're reading the project.
Yeah.
My issue is primarily pertaining to pollution. I have demanded that you conduct a water audit at Saligaon. Is the government prepared for that? Because, why do I say? Because today you claim, when I say you, I mean your department, claims that you have a state-of-the-art plant in Saligaon.
We do have.
Very good. Let's conduct this water audit.
See, that is clear.
If the plant is, as you all claim, state-of-the-art, that takes care of leachate, that takes care of pollution in the air, ambient air, name it. Let's go and do a simple thing like a water audit. And I will request, when this audit is being conducted, let me know, so I will accompany your team.
Audit of?
Water.
So
in Saligaon village.
See, there was a write-up some time back. Saligaon plants to be savior of Salmona spring. So basically, there is nothing as far as the water.
Speaker, sir, my request to the minister is, let us identify any well at random in the village of Saligaon,
okay,
down below your plant. Let us do an audit there, and then let us talk further. I'm only asking for a water audit.
Sir, we have not received any complaint from whoever it is.
Sir, then you take up this challenge of mine, no? Then agree, no, with what I'm asking. What? No, I don't require the opposition leader. I'm standing on the MLA of Nuvai constituency.
We will see if we are setting up the plant.
Then accept, sir, no. Let us go and visit, no, please.
Sir, see, we will see if we are setting up the plant. We will see that you are fully satisfied.
No,
as far as the plant.
My request
has got.
My request. I'm repeating my request to the minister. Let us go and do a water audit. I am not asking anything more. And if he is so confident of his plant, accept my request.
But I am just trying to tell you that you be first confident. See, from each different departments, we will get a report.
No, we don't want to. I am only asking. If you're, I am repeating, if you're so confident,
sir,
the environment minister is there. Can you at least conduct this water audit?
Yeah.
My senior colleague to know that water audit can be carried out, but E. coli, if it is there in the wells, then what? E. coli is not generated by the plant. There's nothing wrong in doing an audit. You do it for yourself.
If E. coli is not there, then we should know which is the source of the E. coli.
That is what septic
So
tanks.
if you want,
septic tanks which are there.
So if you all are so confident, if you feel one could give a wrong, then let us go to
Absolutely
10
no
where-
problem. We will do it. On behalf of the minister, I will ask Goa Pollution Control Board to help us in that. Don't worry.
Please inform me. Yes, we will. Thank you.
We have already got from GISITs 1 lakh square meters. We have paid 24 crore rupees as far as the thing is concerned.
Sir, you have only 50,000 in possession.
No,
Yes, Speaker,
We
sir.
have-
And
see-
this information is given to me by your own department.
no, but GWMC have paid GSIDC for 1 lakh square meters, 24 crores, and hence the plant will be set up there. So, but we have already paid the money. Prepare ESI report, the Verna plant, they have basically taken the water sample, whatever this thing, as far as your plant is concerned, in Verna.
Speaker, sir, without the plant coming up, what type of water sample are you going to conduct? What type of tests are you conducting?
There were some representatives from the...
No, you forget the representatives. My point is, as an MLA, the Honorable Minister has agreed. He is going to ask Pollution Board to intervene, and we will conduct that water audit.
Okay, fine, we have got no...
Then let's take a call to see how efficient the state-of-art plant is.
Fine, we have got no issue in that. Okay. Okay. Captain Venzi. The Captain Venzi had asked me, as regards of the issue of Caravella Resort not payment of increment, the said matter is sub judice and has been educated to the Labour Court. As regards to the Labour Welfare Centre, necessary action will be initiated to modernize the causes. Remuneration of the part-time will be revived in consultation with the Finance Department. What is the other thing you had asked me was regarding, I think it was MRF, to set up the MRF plan. I will speak to our colleague as far as the town planning minister is concerned. So whether they can set up a plant in the open space. So that will basically help as far as this thing is concerned. Shelton is not there. Viresh Burkar. Website is made for SDMA and it is updated. It is functional. Just because since you said it was not functional, Mr. Viresh. And State Disaster Management Authority last year, and additional funds were allocated to compensate for the flood damages as well as due to cyclone Tukte. Budgetary provisions are made as per the contingency to provide immediate relief. What was that? Where is this?
In front of GMC complex.
It is coming under revenue department.
Yeah, because it's under
But
revenue.
I guess they have already allotted some.
They have been allotted, but I don't know why they have been held now.
Okay, let
PW department has already allotted it.
Fine, let me
to
just
the
check in the
revenue
department.
department. So let us get it.
I'll get back to you on that. Colleague Mr. Krishna Salkar, the Margao Municipal Council has a huge 85,000 cubic meter legacy waste dump with GWMC remediated completely in 2020. Now at the headland Sada, another dump is created by dumping mixed waste. The Margao Municipal Council has to treat and dispose day-to-day waste and not to dump the waste. The Marmagoa, sir. Marmagoa, sir. The proposed common waste management facility for Marmagoa Taluka will be set up at Verna Industrial Street. Okay. Okay. So anything else which is there? Where is that fucking list? He's not there. Faldesa is not there. So I think I have covered most of the issues. I request the honorable members basically to withdraw their cut motion and support the demands.
Manni Fisheries Minister.
Speaker sir, I rise to reply to cut motion move to demand number 6566. Reply to cut motion by Shri